Love 101.1, Savannah's #1 for R&B and the best old school iHeartRadio. I'm excited. It's Workflow Radio with your boy, Kold. And I got Dr. AMIR TOURE in the building, Mr. Low Country, South Kakalaki, Georgia, Florida, all of it, always putting on. How you doing, doctor?
Doing excellent, brother. Always glad to be here with the one, the only. He make it happen. He make it happen. Kold. Listen to him. That's right. We listen to the brother.
Hey,
yes,
that's
indeed.
love.
Yes,
that,
indeed.
And,
yes,
and
indeed.
you know, you're one of the people I like connected with early in my touching down here. And from the first conversation when I had you on my podcast, I'm like, this brother is on it. You know, our spirits just kind of resonate together.
Yes,
and
sir.
so already, you always keep something going on social media, and I've been seeing the local news. You keep stuff going. I've seen the local news, and I've been seeing the paper talking about Orange Crush, and I'm hearing a negative side of it, a positive side, but there's some obvious things that I think people are not pointing out. And first thing I want you to do is give the people is let them know a little bit about Orange Crush and how it started.
Well, Orange Crush started out at Savannah State University, and one of the things, my brother, is that the interesting thing, people are going to say, I'm the founders, I'm a member of the founding of Orange Crush, and I was like, wait a minute. What I do, my job is to go and talk about, as I said, those unsung people. That, again, those stories that people don't know that are pertinent to us that actually are real. Because sometimes we give forms to other people. We give vehicles to other people. So, and I'm like saying, Kenneth Flo was the person who came with the idea. Kenneth Flo was student government vice president at Savannah State in the late 1980s. James Ifikon Simon, we know him, Dr. Ifikon Simon now, was the president. So, and Brother Nadrinier Enzi, a lot of them went to events that people know, like Freaknik. Freaknik, but also in Daytona Beach, they had Black College Day, Black College Reunion. So folks are going down there, and Flo, coming from New York, Flo being at Savannah, his family being tied right here in this area, Flo then says, wait a minute, why are we not going to the beach like that? Essentially, I'm just paraphrasing, but Flo has the insight and say, we can go to Savannah, we can go to the beach.
Yeah, right here in Georgia.
That's right, and do the same thing what we see in other places and bringing folks from around the African-American, the HBCU experience, that they cannot come to Savannah. But then somebody else says something too, which is a little different. They said that, but also now it allows folks, if they couldn't travel to those other places, they could do it right here in Savannah.
You can stay right home. You don't have to go down the road.
So Flo germinates this idea, and then that's why he and Ifikon now go and produce the first Orange Crush. And it is so crazy that you got people saying that I did Orange Crush, I did that. No, the name Orange Crush did not exist. They came out with the name Orange Crush.
Wow. And it's been since I've been in the coastal area since 2004. It was already popping. Like it was gone.
1989. That's when Flo comes up with. Flo is the one that gives it the name. Flo gives the concept. So I say, yes. Were black people going out to the beach? Yes, they were going out to the beach. Yes, we know that. Were people picnicking on the beach? Yes, they were doing all of that at the beach. Were people celebrating at the beach? Yes, we know that. But this thing called Orange Crush that occurs in April, that third weekend in April, comes from out the mind of Kenneth Flo and then spurred on by James Ifikon Simon. And they had other activities that went on also that it was culminated in with regards to what you saw, the beach party, the pool party, and the other activities, the concerts. That was the culminating element to it, but they had other things going on too. Because I used to tell people, I said it was a part of a Pan-African experience. Because Dr. Simon, Ifikon Simon, is a Pan-African. So again, from the VI, from the Virgin Islands, my boy, Charlotte Amali, he's Charlotte Amali in the house. And so, you know, I got to throw that out there.
Definitely.
So what then happens? So now he throws in that element right there. So now people see that, and Orange Crush now becomes a part of the legacy of the Student Government Association at Savannah State. Up until approximately 1991. That's when Savannah State now goes and says, hey, listen, we can no longer let y'all be the one sponsoring this and putting this on because of liability issues.
Right.
I tell folks, because now if something happens out there, guess what then happens? That person can then pursue an action against Savannah State and also the state of Georgia. So that's why I said to myself, not that I know this, but I can understand that the general counsel for Savannah State or somebody from the even Attorney General office or someone from the Board of Regents is going to say, listen here, they can't be the sponsors of it. The school cannot be the sponsor. Now, individual promoters can.
Which is what we're seeing in the media right now.
And that's what happened.
And they're putting this guy one-on-one, and he's carrying it, but it seems like he doesn't have all the information. He doesn't have everything to have that type of battle with Tybee Island and the government.
Well, and that's why I say, and this is something that happened over time. That again, so you now had individuals, but because everybody understand, just like people gonna come to Savannah for St. Patrick's Day regardless.
Right, pack it out.
They're gonna come anyway. They're gonna come. They're gonna come anyway. Right. They're gonna go to New Orleans anyway for Mardi Gras. They're gonna go there. That's understood. If you want to talk about some of the other festivals around that time, they're gonna go to the Rose Parade there also. And don't tell me that people don't get drunk at the Rose Parade. Oh, Callie didn't want me to talk about that.
No. But this, what you're saying right there, one of the biggest things for me is how do they remove that this is just a bunch of college kids having a good time without it being about them being black? Because there's certain events that go on Georgia, Florida. How much drunkenness do we see from college students in the area?
Well, you see college students and adults. You see minors. Right. You see minors. You see elders. You see the entire gamut. You see males, females. You see the entire gamut. You see whatever sexual orientation, whatever gender identification. You see all of everybody. But now when it comes down to these folks with these black faces. Oh, man. And so then what happens is that now we got brothers and sisters who are doing promotion and other things like that, and it's somewhat of a profit. Right. It's not how can I can get this on right here. So then that's when you don't necessarily have as much control.
True.
But now I have one brother. In fact, I was talking with DJ Protocol on his show, and he discussed how he had gone to Tybee, and the folks there say, okay, this is what you need to do, and they gave him the layout or the game plan on what needs to be done. But
so they do have a plan that if the promoter or just the people who are organizing, if they meet with the people, it wouldn't be no issue if they did it that way.
And so now let me tell you, and that's what the conversation when I was on Protocol's show, that's what came up. Protocol said they told him, and so even now to go back in time, even with regards to when people talk about how they were the creators of Orange Crush, guess what? Flo had to do permits. He had to do permits.
So it came out the gate starting right.
Right. So he had to do permits, and so now it probably has expanded because just like when it comes down to it, when you see them brown, yellow, red, black faces, them peach faces, them cream faces, then it becomes an issue, you know. And so, and ain't nobody need to act like this is something brand new. Folks can go and tell you in the 90s. In 92, 91, there were helicopters and other things. You saw all the law enforcement out there on Tybee. Traffic would be back up to Skidaway.
Wow.
The Skidaway.
All the way that far.
That far, because folks trying to get out there, trying to get the Orange Crush. I mean, I'm going to take it back in time. I remember listening to the Chronic.
Wow, going to Orange Crush.
On the Orange Crush, listening to the Chronic. The Chronic just come out pretty much. So like,
And you know what? That's another telltale sign right there, because I think about myself. When I think about these young kids, I think about myself. You think about these young kids, you're thinking about yourself. A college student going out there to go have a good time, and look at what you've become.
That's right.
Why are they treating our students like they're like it's a thug and criminal party?
And that's exactly what you criminalize us. Because now let's come down to it. When you have other events at Tybee, even when it comes to St. Patty's Day.
Oh, it's all over the place.
Pirates Fest, you know, Bomb Beach, all the other stuff like that. And you see all the drunkenness. And actually now, just to throw it out there, and some of the school, Armstrong used to have a beach festival at Tybee also.
Okay.
Georgia Southern had one also. That's what they used to do. I think SCAD also. And so now you're going to try to tell me that, yes, the numbers may not have been enlarged because you see people coming from around the entire area. I mean, across the country pretty much. But you're going to try to tell me that it wasn't any underage drinking going on?
Right.
And in fact, it was underage drinking that was happening at those events, at those activities. But we say nothing about it because, again, when it comes down to it, let's just get into the ism. You might not like it, but it involves racism. Y'all talking about you throw the race card. You can throw the race card because it's right there. It's in your face. And so people don't want to say anything and ignore it because, again, you criminalize our people.
Exactly.
Now, here goes the thing, my brother, that you're going to have some of us say, well, look how y'all act out there. Look, like, we understand that. But guess what? Others act the same way.
They're young people.
Others do the same thing.
Young people, right?
And they don't get criminalized.
At all.
It's just that our people. And that, yes, some things could happen that, again, say having more responsibility, but just don't throw that on black folks Throw that on Caucasians, Latinos, Asians, Native people.
People, period.
That's
People,
right.
period.
Throw it
Right.
out there and look at it like that. And so now we evolved to the insanity. The insanity now where you're involved with now the people who live out there, we don't want them out there. But you allow these other people out here.
All the time.
Urinating in your yards. Other people not breaking things. Other people doing engaging in illegal activities right out there. But then now you just criminalize us because, again, it's the image. And so now part of the insanity, and I'm going to say this to the allies. To the folks who with us. To the allies. You can't be an ally just making a comment on social media.
True.
You got to be an ally that take woo.
Yeah, you got to stand up. And you know, and that's the thing. When you're talking about the shift, because even now, you think about Savannah, you've been here, grown up here, the difference of maybe 30, 40 years ago to now. We have made some range. We've made something, but there's still a lot of cognitive dissonance with white people in ignoring certain things, and there are certain things that they see. So that is like a major issue if we're going to be a community.
That's right.
You have to speak up, because as a person, I tell people all the time, no matter how much I talk and I'm putting on for my people, I'm putting on for my people first.
That's right.
But I don't care what color some little child is or some young kid is or a grown person, whatever. I'm going to respect you and treat you with dignity.
Right.
Why can't we do that on paperwork?
That's right.
They don't do that on paperwork.
That's right. And it goes right back to that very point that you don't look at us the same way.
Man. Yeah,
you don't look at us the same way, and you play the game with regard, and then you justify because your friends say something, and so you like, okay, yeah, you'll go a little bit, with regards to say it's wrong, but then also you're gonna say, well, you need to do this right here. They need to do this right here. Y'all need if you act better. I'm not saying, but you don't do that with other people. You make excuses for other people, or you say, oh, they're just kids, they're just teens.
Right, they little boys. Boys will be boys.
I did the same thing when I was in college.
Right.
So, so you make excuses for them, but then the others like, look at them. You criminalize them. And so that's to say this thing to those you listening out there, guess what? We don't accept criminality.
At all. I'm not with it.
So, we ain't down, so we don't have a problem calling out. And just like if we call out our own people, guess what? That means I can call out anybody else.
And that's, and just even in me being in the radio world, you're talking about something that really affects who I am, because I've always been who I am. I was raised like that. But being in the radio world, like growing up, I'm listening to what Rush Limbaugh is saying. I'm listening to any of them dudes on TV, Glenn Beck, and who feel like they're right.
Yes.
I hear how far they go.
Yes.
I've heard people go as far as talking about they want to hang the president. They want to hang Barack Obama. Just local people in the community.
Insane.
So my thing is how I'm moving forward is always, hey, I can say anything that any other man can say because I'm no less.
That's right.
And it doesn't have to be about disrespect,
That's
but we do need some truth.
That's right. Absolutely. And show you how this insanity is now going. So I'm going to tell you that sometime when you engage in the evil, or you engage in your racism will come back and hurt you. So I'm saying this right here to any of y'all right now. Not that I'm prophesizing, but let's say that there is somebody on Tybee, a resident on Tybee, somebody staying in an Airbnb on Tybee, somebody staying in a hotel on Tybee, and they have a heart attack. And they need an emergency vehicle to come out there. They need an ambulance to come out there. Guess what? You just got one lane.
Ooh, yeah.
You about to die.
Yeah, you done.
You about to die. You
That's
about
just safety.
Because you done made a decision to say have only one lane to discourage the people, and so if I'm one of them, I'm gonna say this: if I'm Latino, if I'm Asian, if I'm Native American, if I'm Caucasian, and I'm there, I might say, wait a minute. I'm going to stand up against that. I say, wait a minute, because listen here, my uncle, my daddy, my mama, my aunt, or myself, I might have a heart attack, or I might have an incident where I have a heat stroke out there, and you got to get me to the hospital. But because you got only one lane, and that's the thing that amazes me, that when all this is being said, that people wouldn't even say, no, I'm not. So I'm not that I'm prophesizing. I'm saying that this is a part of the insanity. That somebody, let's say somebody gets a broken ankle or something like that.
Right. They stuck. All to keep us out.
That's right.
And this is the thing, and not even to bounce around crazy, because I'm going to get you out of here, because I'm going to have you come back.
All right, that's all good, brother.
But when you talk about everything that's going on with the island. You know, you talk about St. Helena. You talk about all these islands where they got tolls and they got this road and they're trying to keep us off. One of the biggest problem I have with that is like, why are they so like serious about keeping us where we came in from? Like, we came in on the beach. We lived on the beach. We cultivated the beach before anybody else did on any of these islands. Why are they trying to keep us off the beach? And it's just like a question that I have for myself. I feel like Orange Crush is an embodiment of that.
Okay.
But us living there and being there and being able to go back to our homeland, back and forth like we want, why are we confounded to these things? But like you say, it's a continuous and situation, but it has to be called out. We got to stop it, and sometimes as a collective, you know. Any way that we can.
All right. So I'm going to do this right here.
Here you go. He finna take it up another notch. Here you go.
I'm going to say this. Calico just went and said, we go there. Why can't the beach is a part of us and who we are tied to? So my brother, I'm going to tell you. See, now, only because this is the first time, because I know pretty much ain't nobody ever said this right here. Yeah. I'm going to say it just like this.
Okay.
That Cali Cole, what he went and said, take it up to a notch.
Yeah.
Because Tybee was one of the places that was the quarantine station. When you cross over, that creek is called Lazaretto Creek, which means quarantine.
Ooh.
That is where our ancestors brought it, because you said it. That's why I see, because I wasn't. Yeah. You said that's where we came in on the beach. Tybee is the place where we came in at. Cockspur Island, where we came in at. Right. So I'm saying right now, he probably just called it on out. And that is part of probably that generational, that ancestral spirit that resides. Even though people are going there for the other celebration and all that, again, it might be your ancestors not hitting you, saying, you got to go back. Even though you might get some jaded views with regards to it's the ancestors. Now I'm saying, now calling somebody to come back there. This is part of your beginning right here. When you cross that water, that's where you landed at. And so that's why that called. So I'm just saying to you, brother, you just called it on out. It's that sacred call. So that's why.
And I feel it. Like, I'll tell you right now, I grew up in San Diego, California. But when I got to coastal Georgia, 17 years old, and I started reading, I got a chance I knew my grandmother, but I got to be with my grandmother every day. I started learning who I was.
Yes, sir.
And what the land was and to us. So now, after all the reading, all the foolishness, it's brought me to, who let this happen? How do we lose so much?
My brother, that's why you just said something there. Because, see, I had never thought about when you just said it, and that one, it just hit me. Because, again, now I take what the people give me. I'm like, oh, shoot, Jamal, what he just said, that, this is where we were. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we came in at. Yeah, exactly. And what the deal might really be is that, yes, people come into Orange Crush, but it might be something even more spiritual. Wow. Some of y'all might try to play off of it. Might be something something even more genetic with regards to that. Right. So folks are coming there, yes, that sometimes we do things, we thinking that, well, I'm going to throw it out there. What we going to say, we say that man planned and God plans. And God is the best of planners. And that it might be your ancestors via God not saying we need y'all to go there. To go to Tybee, because, again, this is the origins of something. Some of the people, when they set foot on Tybee, guess what? That is probably the first port.
Where they from?
Whoa, that's your ancestors saw being brought here. The quarantine station, because people don't realize, I tell folks, there's an African burial ground on Tybee also. Right,
and I've also read that's what they were talking about with the bridges. They got to knock over some more graves to extend that thing, don't they? Or if they haven't already done it.
Well, that's some of the things that got to explore, because, again, we have a number of unmarked graves and other things. You got to go do the sonar work with regards to that. So that's another story in and of itself right there. But that's why I'm like saying now, I got now say, I ain't going to give you credit for it, but I'm going to go and say that it's a spiritual thing with regards to that. But, me and you cool. So
hey, I'll
come back anytime.
Anytime.
Because Cali Cole going to be like, Jamal got that from me. So I'll be like, you ain't got to tell nobody that. But, my brother, I'm just saying that's a powerful statement. Because now I'm like saying, that's why these black folks, that might be a part of it in that genetic makeup.
And just like you're saying, us congregating like that where we came in at, it might do something. Brother. And they might be trying to stop this generation from go to that next side. But we're gonna come back. We're going to do it. Dr. TOURE, I appreciate you coming in. How can the people keep up with you on social media?
Day Clean Soul on IG, Day Clean Soul, DAYCLEEAN, like Clean Soul, SOUL on IG. Also on Twitter. Twitter, or X as we know it today. AMIR TOURE on Facebook, AMIR TOURE. Anytime you need me, just hit me up. Number 912-220-5966. History and culture, that's what we deal with. Human rights activities, that's what we plant the seed of greatness.
Hey, and this brother stays on the fight. I appreciate you coming in, Doctor. And if y'all want the full interview, y'all just going to get a piece on the radio. But the full thing, you got to hit love1011.com. iHeartRadio.